This video is brought to you by Diamond Pacific Tool Corporation. Diamond Pacific is America's favorite diamond tool, wheel, and lapidary machine manufacturers. For nearly half a century, Diamond Pacific has set the industry standard for diamond lapidary equipment. Join the majority of professional lapidaries and choose Diamond Pacific products such as their Novell wheels, Pixie, Genie, and Titan gem makers, as well as their wide selection of other high-quality lapidary diamond products. Check out Diamond Pacific today and find out why they're considered America's premier diamond lapidary tool manufacturers.
Ryan from Conscious Creator. Is it Conscious Creator or Conscious Creators?
Conscious Creators with the S.
Awesome. How'd you come up with that name?
Oh, you know what? It's funny. I actually used to have a design company. I was a graphic design major in college, and I did different like advertisements and websites and stuff for different companies, and that was what I called my design company, and that was my handle for Instagram, and I just never changed it, and so it kind of just stuck.
Oh wow. Well, it's really good for the phosphate stuff and the mining stuff, but I can definitely see it being coming from the graphic design world. It's like a website designer, powerfully innovative, conscious creator.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do a rebrand and rename, and I've got a little something in the works I'm working on. So probably in the next year or so, I'm probably going to be changing my name and rebranding. But that's all. We'll see what happens. I'm still divided.
Oh no! Well, every day is one day. It's getting too late. Everyone's gonna know you as that.
I know.
So you've been mining for decades?
Probably about 10 years. I quit my job
bad.
as a solar installer and doing construction and design to start mining.
And you didn't start with phosphates, right? You did like sunstones and such?
Yeah, originally I just was doing like quartz crystals and whatever I could find. My first job was with High Desert Gems and Minerals, working up at the Himalaya mine in San Diego, mining for tourmaline, and then they brought me up to Oregon to do the sunstones for like 3 years or so.
Oh man, did you go hard on that material like you do on the stuff you're working now?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, I used to have buckets of sunstones.
You go hard, man. You're not slumping.
Yeah.
You're not lazy.
I like digging. I don't know what it is. Beating the snot out of the ground is fun.
You know, I'll be honest, like I get invited all kinds of places to go mine and make videos and stuff, and I never desire it at all. But watching you mine that Verisite, it's just like, oh, you know, when people see it, they probably say, oh, he's just pulling it right out of the ground. Because you show the vein, you don't show the pit that you're digging. Hard rock.
Yeah.
You show a little bit of the jackhammers and stuff, and sometimes when you work with other people, you show excavators. But you just always show that money shot of you pulling out the beauty. It's so much more than that.
Oh, there's a lot more to it than that. That's the fun, easy part. The 90% of the rest of it is all really hard labor.
So I think, at least I do, and a lot of other folks know you for your awesome designer American Verisites. Are they mostly in Nevada?
Yeah, they're all in Nevada right now.
Tonopah-ish?
Yeah, all central Nevada. You know, I think I've got Nye County, Mineral County, and Esmeralda County is my main focus right now. So cool. Central and western Nevada.
It just trips me out because it seems like when I first met you, you were working Colina and I think Calypso. I don't think the Neptune, which is one I believe it wasn't out. You weren't doing that yet, and I don't even think Cloud Chaser. And if you were, it wasn't to market. And so there's just so much there. I'm surprised that like more people just haven't snatched it up for snatching claim's sake. But I guess like when you think of Tonopah, some people think of like the Audisons. Maybe they're just doing other stuff, and they have their own Verisites too, like Mantis and Star Fox and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a video of you just like stumbling across the wall, and you're like, oh, I found something new. It's not even claimed, and it looks like someone just put pieces like of vein all around there. It looks like there's just $20,000 just sitting on that wall, crumbling apart. I mean, that place just must be so rich, but I'm surprised I don't hear more Verisites coming out of there.
Yeah, no, that's a newer discovery in the Silver Peak range, and to my knowledge, there's only one other Verisite claim in that entire range, the Silver Peak mine, which everyone knows. It's not one of my claims, so yeah, the Nautilus it's a newer one. Man, I've been exploring that part of the mountains for probably 2 or 3 years now, looking for stuff. And you can find little scraps here and there, but it's nothing that I would think is worth digging on. But when you walk onto a hill and it's just like bleeding out of the mountainside and no one's ever stepped foot, that's where you want to dig.
Again, you're showing the money shot, right? It looks like you're just rolling around on your four-wheeler. Hey, look, $50,000 just on the wall. Now let's go work it. No, it was years of looking.
I was hiking. I was out there hiking for like 2 days looking for stuff, and this was the last day before I was going to head home, and I was going to call it quits the entire day, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go down one more wash, hiked up it, came down, drove further, hiked up, came down, drove further, and the last spot at the very end of the wash, there's a just big old outcrop just sitting there, and I never would have known. Last good find of the day, last minute find.
I love your social media posts. If you ever get notifications that I'm screenshotting a bunch of photos, I'm not creeping on you. I'm just.
I was wondering what something keeps popping up.
Yeah, it's for like. I'm sure it protects like a lot of models and stuff, right? Some dudes creeping on them, but I'm just like taking B-roll to put over our conversation.
Gotcha.
So just so you know, I'm not. That's what all the notifications are.
It's all good.
You cut your own material.
Yeah, I do. A big majority of the cabbing. I have one guy who cuts for me out of where's he, Arizona, and he does a lot of my turquoise, but pretty much all the Versailles I cut myself.
It looks like you're using a Cab King with the stock wheels. That's impressive.
I've got the Diamond Pacific wheels on there, the Supernovas. Cool. That's the only way to go in my opinion.
No, for sure. They're really good. You know what? There's some people who can pull off the Cab King stock stuff. This girl Kelsey on TikTok, she's so good. Her stuff looks better than mine with those bad wheels, but more than the machine, it looks like, and I can't tell, that you're using diamond paste for your final polish.
I use Zam.
I actually just changed Zam on the side because it is green in the video.
Yeah, I changed my technique. I've used that leather wheel for a long time, but lately I have problems with it getting contaminated, and I get these tiny scratches that I cannot freaking get rid of. So I got like a bench lathe with a soft wheel on it, and I just put the Zam on that and do it dry now, and oh man, I get an even better polish. I feel like and I feel like the speed, it's faster than the cabbing machines. They're like 1725, and the bench things are like 3,000 something. But when it takes like 2 seconds to get a polish now.
Yeah. But it'll rip it right out of your hand. You better have a catch. Mine's just the other side of the room.
I've got a big shield behind it. Yeah, they go flying.
When you on that video where you were using the side of the machine, it wasn't Zam, right? It was something else.
Yeah, it's Zam. The only thing I use is Zam.
Cool, because it was green, and I'm like, is he putting Zam on the side of his Cab King? That's trippy. I never see that. It can be done. I mean, it's chrome oxide. It'll go on there. But yeah, your finish is spectacular. Your shape is really good. You're way above average with cutting this material, and it's a completely different technique. You can cut agates, and it's a little forgiving because you have to dig in a little bit more. Where phosphates, they are often harder than steel-ish, but it's easier to melt it away. And your shapes are extremely designer. Your polish is spectacular, and you know how to cut it. I wanted to ask, do you ever have to stabilize the materials that you're harvesting?
Nope, I don't.
The Versailles in particular.
Yeah, the Versailles comes out of the ground natural and ready to go. It's typically Versailles going to be more silicated than turquoise, and almost all Versailles comes out of the ground good and ready to cut. And really, the only issue ever is the matrix. If you're like in a clay matrix or a softer shale or mud matrix, it can undercut sometimes. But the Versailles itself is really, really hard.
Well, that kind of makes sense. You never just see like a bucket of chalk Versailles at a mom and pop rock show where you'll see that with turquoise all the time. There's never just chalk Versailles to take home and stabilize for $40 a pound.
Oh yeah, I've never seen chalk Versailles. And all the Versailles I've ever dug, I've never dug a piece of chalk. It's always very silicated.
So people are like, what's the difference between turquoise and Versailles? To my knowledge, I think just rough, cut and dry. Turquoise is an aluminum phosphate copper. And Versailles, it's aluminum?
So turquoise is a hydrated copper aluminum phosphate with a higher copper content, which is what makes it the turquoise. And then Variscite is just a hydrated aluminum phosphate with more aluminum dominant. You can still get copper inside of it because there is blues and whatnot in Variscite still, but it doesn't have a high enough copper content to qualify it as turquoise.
Yeah, that makes sense that it can be blue. Like I think a lot of like the Ottison's mantis is pretty blue, the Star Fox can be pretty blue. But then there's like stuff that people still to this day think is turquoise, like Seven Dwarves, which is a Variscite, I believe, when it's a turquoise. It's it's a Variscite and people think it's a turquoise. I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, but Seven Dwarves was a good example. That was
a lot of people call Damali turquoise too, but
right.
Damali's a lot of Variscite and Phosphite. So it's a lot of people don't really, everyone knows turquoise, obviously, that's a very well-known ancient mineral that has been used for our existence. But so it's really easy to get them mixed up and confused, I feel like, but they're definitely different minerals in their own kind of category,
I bet you there was ancients mining Variscite, just like if it was turquoise, because
oh, I'm sure.
Like, yeah, and it was the same. You know what I mean? Like,
it's beautiful.
In a video, you show a piece of like an arrowhead, so they were definitely out and about. And this probably wasn't a coincidence. It's beautiful. The colors are right. It's great in jewelry. It probably works well and easy. So it's all the family, right? I always say Variscite, Faustite, Hotsonite. They're all the sexy sisters of turquoise, which I think technically. It's like chalcociterite, Faustite is closer to turquoise than Variscite, but to us, like if you're a phosphate freak, Variscite, Hotsonite, Faustite, turquoise.
Chalcociterite, yep, turquoise, yeah.
So, yeah, like just like turquoise, one claim can have 50 looks, 30 different colors. The Colina Verde, I cut a little set of Colina Verde that our good friend sent to me. And I think there's like 5 different colors in there. And it almost gets a little tricky because some of the Colina can look like Calypso, and some of the Colina I was cutting almost looks like that Ivory Creek stuff from Kazakhstan. So just like turquoise, you can't just look at it and be like, oh, that is what it is. I've seen it before. My grandpa said it was from Arizona 50 years ago. It's got to be this or that. Out of all the colors, do you know what makes the pink? Because that's super unique on a lot of your material.
The pink.
There's like these pinkish peaches on some of the...
like a peachy kind of cream color.
It's fantastic. And it'll be like inside or outside of green. I want to say, so natural purest Variscite is actually a white cream color because it's lacking the different irons and coppers and chromiums to give it those exotic colors. So I think it's actually, rather than having, like more iron or something in it, it actually has less and more aluminum in it is what's making it more of a pure Variscite, which is, the creamed white color. Oh, trippy. That makes a lot of sense. It's like, yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah,
it's definitely
that's what I was told. I'm not a geologist.
No, that makes sense.
I'm not a chemist. I'm a dude who digs holes, and I'm just super passionate about it, and pick up things from other miners and geologists and my own research over the years.
I think I've heard somebody mention the same thing with turquoise, where like the purest turquoise, like the Golden Hills and stuff from Kazakhstan, they're like this light baby periwinkle blue. Oh, and without the other stuff, it's just almost boring. And then everything else is making it, what we call turquoise, this dark blue with red web, is probably technically contaminated in a beautiful way. Mm-hmm. It's a Variscite renaissance, undoubtedly, right now. You are having so much to do with it, brother. It's so amazing. Like my friend Sprite would say, he would go to the gem show 20, 30 years ago, and they wouldn't even know what to charge for this stuff. It was like, oh yeah, and they'd have to tell everybody.
Miners used to just throw it away, man. They didn't care about Variscite. If it wasn't turquoise, they would just walk right past it.
A lot of what you're mining can go toe to toe and smoke. I would say the top 5 stuff being mined in America today, for the patterns, the color, the stability. and actually the value. Some of your stuff, which is going to be all over the screen now, it's tell me this just doesn't smoke the stuff that you can, that you're spending $2,000 a pound on coming from Arizona, from guys that are telling you it's not stabilized and it really is. No, your stuff is off the chain. Colina, Verde, Neptune? Is it Neptune?
Nautilus is the new one. Yeah.
Calypso.
Calypso.
What else are you doing?
I've got Emerald Basin, Veracite. I've got Lost Canyon that I just opened back up. Cloud Chaser, which is the turquoise. We did Agua Oro several years ago. That was more of a hat mine. It's still there. It's just not what it used to be. It's kind of changed. And then Desert Springs turquoise, which is near Agua Oro.
Is that new? I don't think I've even seen the Desert Springs stuff.
Yeah, we hit some pockets. The problem with that spot is the rock is so hard. It's like a hematite-rich chert almost.
Oh, damn.
So the jackhammer just bounces off of it. It's impossible to dig there.
Oh, man.
So I'm holding it because one day I want to get a piece of equipment up there and try and open it, but that was some beautiful, beautiful turquoise, really similar to like blackjack, and because it's in the same area. And then what else? Tomahawk, which is another turquoise.
Oh yeah, I have a little piece of Tomahawk from when I met you like 6 years ago with a little tag still in the bag, and I'm like, I'm not gonna cut this thing. It's too nice.
That stuff was really good.
Is it all gone now?
I recently have been digging it and opened it back up, and I cannot find any signs of it. I'm going to keep trying and see if I can find more, but it might have just been a little hat mine also. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not calling it quits yet, but it's definitely, I haven't found any for several years.
So you work several claims. I imagine if they're good producing, it's like, okay, we're running low on this. Let's take time to go get more.
Yeah.
And or it's like, okay, this is better. I could make more money working this at this time of year. Because you're probably out there, dude. When we think of like, going to the Audisons, dig around at Royston, you go in like October. You're probably out there in the dead. You're in the dead heat, aren't you, dude?
Oh yeah, it was like up to 110 at the Nautilus.
You can't wait, dude. I bet.
I get up there right when the sun rises, and about three or so in the afternoon when it's really peak heat. I'm like, all right, time to get out of here. It's too hot.
So what Veracites do you like that you don't mind? Do you like
I don't mind?
Yeah. Do you like the Iranian stuff? Personally, I'm not a big fan. It looks a little weird.
Like the Black Bridge. I like the Black Bridge. My only issue is it's so hard figuring out what's actually natural and stabilized.
When I saw it, I thought all of it was. But the natural can look stabilized.
Because that was my understanding, was that the people who originally imported it here had imported, several hundred pounds and stabilized all of it. And so I would assume that's what's still going around right now. But a lot of people call it natural, when my understanding was it was all stabilized. But I don't know the full story on all that. But that Black Bridge can get really, really nice, or Emerald Rose or whatever.
Yeah, there's an Emerald Rose. I've always heard it was Black Ridge. I didn't know, and then I read Black Bridge actually yesterday. So Black Bridge, Emerald Rose. I've heard Kush Valley, like Kush Valley with a silent K at the end. And what else? I've heard a few others. I think Sandra from Turquoise Obsessions, who you probably have to know. I think she had her own name for it as well. But it's good when it has anything in it. If it's just pure green, it just looks like good Lucian to me, and it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Do you... Well, obviously, Clay Canyon.
I really like Desert Bloom is one of my favorites. The Vista Grand mine.
Oh, dude, Desert Bloom. When I think of Desert Bloom, I always think of the Audisons. They cut the crap out of that stuff. It's so good.
So that's actually Alan Chamber and Rodney Frisbee's mine. Rodney was the one who passed away last year in the ATV accident, who I did a lot of this mining with. So now it's just Alan up there mining it, and I'm kind of trying to fill the boots for Rodney. But Desert Bloom, I think, is one of the best Veracite discoveries of our lifetime right now. It is some good stuff, and there's a lot of beautiful colors and variances up there.
I made a little note, and it says Vista Grand, a.k.a. Desert Bloom. What's the difference? Is it location? Is it just pre or post event or something?
So the name of the mine is actually Vista Grande. And what those guys did, they got into several large vein and pocket systems, and they would name each vein and pocket system. So the Vista Grande mine is like the mine, you know, the one claim up there. But they named each vein something different. So you've got Emerald City, you have Orion, you've got Desert Bloom. What else? There was a couple other ones. Andromeda.
Does Angel Wing come from that area?
What's that?
Does Angel Wing come from that area, or is that something different?
Angel Wing's up in Lander County, I believe. That's pretty far away.
Mm-hmm.
Angel Wing's another really good one. I don't know who mines that.
When it's good, it's great.
It's some nice stuff, yeah.
When Newlander's good, it's great. I think that's Ernie Montoya's bag. It's just a little expensive, but dude, you better get used to it. Versite's you're not going to get that 20 cents a gram anymore. People out there busting butt.
It's getting more well known, and you know, Versite is much more rare than turquoise is. So I think once it really gets the recognition it deserves, you're going to see prices going up drastically over the next decade or so.
I think it's this generation, because here's the thing. It's like all of these mines we're talking about, almost none of them have the ability to have a foreign entity come in, strong arm their miner. Okay, you want $1,000 a pound? Well, how about I give you 200 and I just buy it all? And that's not going to happen. No one's going to do that to you. To where you're going to see trays from foreign wholesalers selling the cabs for $4. You just can't do it.
Oh, no.
You know, and
just with the cost of mining and labor out here these days, you know, and expenses to mine this stuff, it's impossible to sell stuff for that cheap anymore, you know.
And you wouldn't do it anyway. I mean, it's your babies, and there's not enough, and so it's going up because it's special. You know, you said that you've been mining something to where it's changed. You know, so that like that was a place in time and a material that might not be able to come back like that type. Like we talk about number 8 sometimes. The new number 8 isn't not what it was in the 60s. Like a lot of it's stabilized and it's rotting and stuff. And so
each pocket is completely unique, and there's no telling what the next pocket will look like, if it will look similar, how much there's going to be. So when you get a certain look out of a pocket, that could be it.
Definitely.
And, you know, there could be more, but it might not have that same look to it.
Yeah, Versite.
It's constantly changing.
Oh, for sure. Versite's super, I think, pretty safe. I don't like to use the words investments with rocks and stuff. It's like, you know, people who bought Sudrolite 20 years ago, it's cheaper than it's been in so long. It's $1 a gram finished cabbed at the Tucson show last year or this year.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not lavulite like my color of this dirty shirt, but just, you know, where it could have been $30 a carat for that same material was $1 a gram. People are unloading things.
I've paid some crazy money for Sudrolite.
Yeah. No, me and a friend, we paid about $5,000 for almost lavulite piece. Yeah. But that's not really going to happen with Versite. And if it is, they paid the price that I would have paid at Quartzsite, or that, you know, Jane or John would have paid at Quartzsite, where, so it's a safe world. Versite's special. Not just because it's rarer than turquoise. And when he says rare, I mean, like, there's turquoise in India, Chile, Kazakhstan, you know, all over Russia, Ukraine.
There's big producers, you know. Versite typically isn't a very big producer. It's small concentrated pockets here and there, you know. Whereas, like, you know, number 8, I mean, there's still pieces on the market and rough that's been circulated for 60 years now, you know. Versite, it's usually not a huge quantity thing.
I saw some of the videos. So you're cabbing and stuff, you and a friend who's really good. I mean, he's cutting just as good as you. Like, your stuff is like perfect shapes. The symmetry's good. I don't like wobbly cabs. Sometimes the matrix makes things want to wobble, but I don't like bean-shaped wobbly cabs. Your stuff is like laser sharp. But a lot of these nuggets and stuff are coming out covered in what I guess cherts or clays or something. And I thought, and then so like some of your awesome Instagram videos, you pull out the beautiful piece, you can't see any of the color sometimes, and you're excited because you know what it is. And then the next shot, it's just this beautiful nugget. like at first I'm like, is there an acid or something? But then I kept watching the videos, and I saw some tumblers. Is that how you're getting it off?
Yeah, it's usually just like a soft shell or mud or clay that's surrounding the nugget. So you could probably use like a water and toothbrush and scrub your butt off and get it off. But I put everything in a rotary tumbler and let it go for, at most 12 hours. No grits, no anything.
I was just going to ask, what kind of grits are you using? Just with itself?
Yep. Just the rocks, and then it'll kind of make its own slurry that just cleans it up. So that way it's not polishing the nugget. It's not making it smaller in size or rounding off edges. It's keeping the really defined botryoidal kind of shape to it.
Heck yeah. Do the veins ever get really thick? They kind of seem like they're maybe like an inch at most, where turquoise can be like feet.
Yep, they can definitely get thick. I've never had too great of luck to finding really thick ones. I mean, most of the time it's like 1/8 of an inch to maybe 1/2 an inch if I'm lucky thick. I think the biggest I've come across is maybe 2-inch thick vein. I know like mine's like Seven Dwarves. They had like one just massive, 3-4 inch vein that they just chased for a long time. But for the most part, I'm in there, dissecting little tiny veins, and trying to get any scrap that I can.
Yeah, I mean, even the thinnest vein, like, if you can't slice it down the middle, flat lap it, back it, you're going to have an incredible piece, and you just edge your way into it. I mean,
exactly.
And so I think it's pretty exciting they're both exciting. It seems like some of the Calypso can have some matrix spread between the flowering little nodules and stuff. Mm-hmm. Where like what was it, Nautilus? What was that?
Yeah.
It seems like those, and then like the Lost Canyon stuff. Was it Lost Canyon?
That's the one that I was just posting, those big old clay covered nuggets.
Yeah, you're gonna get some, you're gonna get some pieces out of that pretty easily. So like, I guess it depends on the material, but but vein and nuggets, two different looks. I mean, it's a renaissance of Variscite, right? Soon we're going to be seeing nugget cabs of it, where it's like, damn, I don't want to get rid of the crystal.
Yeah. That's my thing. I wish a lot more people just collected the nuggets, because, I mean, honestly, they're super rare, and sometimes it breaks my heart watching them get chopped up into a bunch of pieces and then ground down till it's, the little tiny cab. And like the nuggets themselves are beautiful. They could just be polished as is and drilled as a bead or something and kept that beautiful natural shape, because I mean, it's rare, really rare stuff. There needs to be more people who collect these as whole specimens rather than chop up every little piece that they can find.
Let me find something. I'll just show it on camera. You gave me a crystal of Variscite when I first met you. It has quartz coming out of it. It's like a neon green. I'll send you a photo. You can let me know what it is. But there's somebody out there who'll just slice it. Oh, crap. It's for cutting, man. No way. This thing is way too good. And like, for the most part, we're talking about like botryoidal growth, but this is like a straight up crystal with a quartz coming out of it and stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have to see it.
Probably 5-6 years. Someone would cut it, though. I'm like, I can't not let that happen. It was even in the bin of rough.
My collection, I like just keeping everything natural. I try and keep at least a piece or two from every pocket that, really sticks out to me, and, hopefully can preserve a little bit of history from these clams over the years.
Do you keep your best stuff? I hope you do.
Oh, yeah.
You have to, or you're going to be sorry.
I need a retirement plan one day, because my body's going to wear out eventually.
The crystal people out there, there's scenes, right? There's the phosphate scenes. They don't need to talk to the jade guys. They don't even care about each other sometimes. They're their own people. Then there's the agate guys, and then there's the crystal specimens. Someone would come into your house and be like, what is this? Just junk. What are these blobs all over your house? It's millions of dollars worth of beautiful, rich phosphates. The crystal world is so weird. Not every turquoise person or phosphate person is a agate guy, and not every. I've been in the Katy Mountains in California at a gem show, and someone's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I'm a turquoise guy." Like, we don't like turquoise around here. It's agate country, son.
Yeah, I'm not an agate fan, you know. To me, they're all dime a dozen, but I'll probably get crucified for saying that.
Oh, someone out there thinks you're silly.
Turquoise and Varisite, man, that's the creme de la creme. That's the holy grail to me.
Yeah, we're Southwestern folks. You know, like, you could have world-class agates in Texas, and it'd be appreciated in Minnesota. And I can have a tray full of beautiful, rich, natural turquoise in a lot of the Minnesota and, you know, Wisconsin, and might not be appreciated as much as the agates for sure, and the petrified woods and stuff. But I'm happy you're keeping a good portion of the finest of your finest stuff, because someone else will get it. My best work, the best things I've ever had, I've sold. Someone else has it, and one day when you retire, when you're 105, you're going to be real sorry that you don't have those beauties. And we need to make, you know, like, there's turquoise books. You need to make a Varisite book. That's like $150 hardcover. And
I've thought about it and talked to people about it for a while. It's going to happen eventually.
And you have the friends that also have these collections, and be like, dude, can you show me that old 70s one? Just get nice photographs and stuff. Awesome, brother. Okay, gem shows, just quartzite.
Yeah, Powwow is the only show that I do. Besides that, I've got my online store page on Instagram, and I do sales every single month, multiple times. But beyond that, it's just a Powwow for me.
That is so unfortunate. No, I mean, well, I mean,
I'm such a small miner, you know, and doing everything by hand. There's only so much material I can accumulate over the year,
and
it's tough for me. I get cleared out at quartzite, and then I can't do any other show because I gotta go mine.
We were talking before we started filming about getting to a show right when you get there, and your material is stunning, and you can show it good on camera. And since it's super silicated, what you see is what you get, and you will be able to cut it. You convey it well. But for the people who want to see it, they want the best of the best. When everything's the same price, there's still 10% that's better than the rest of an NA rock, and they get there in quartzite probably the first day and wipe you out. They just boom.
People are coming to the booth the day before, 2 days before the show, trying to haggle me.
Those suckers. I need to get there 4 days before.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm so addicted to your material. Oh,
I appreciate it, dude.
No, you've earned it, man. The Cloud Chaser is stunning. The color is spectacular. And it seems to be, like, super consistent. Are there, like, have you found any lighter or darker ones? You had to have.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good mix. A lot of the material I'm still having to stabilize. I'm only like 12 feet deep in the main pit there. So a lot of it is still kind of softer, but the natural stuff can definitely hold a nice, deep, bright, like electric blue color with almost like a water web. It's not like a water web. It's webbed, but there's no like defined matrix. It's just like really compact, tight eyeballs of the turquoise all in one nugget. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
But yeah, there's a good range there. There's greens, there's some polychromes, there's even yellow here and there I get. But it's pretty consistent, and it's a large deposit. My goal for next year is to get a piece of equipment up there and tear into it, because I've kind of dug myself into a cave now, and it's just become too much labor.
No,
it's too much labor to jackhammer the overburden now. So next step, I have to get a machine there and open it up. And I think there's going to be something really cool down in there deeper.
I'm looking forward to it. I think I saw a picture on your Instagram of a piece that kind of looks like the size of a fist, which is really not the common nugget.
No.
Are they all nuggets, no veins so far?
It's all nugget there, yeah. It's all like kind of sea foamish nuggets there. What happens is there's alternating layers of chert and shell there, and it's just one zone about 2 feet thick where you get these cracks that open up that are filled with like a kaolin clay, and the nuggets are kind of just formed everywhere in there, hanging on the walls and whatnot, and loosely, so you can just pick them out.
It must be fun.
It's a trip. It's cool.
Just picking all these things. Real quick, just to talk so that folks don't know, I think there's a big like scare when we hear stabilized. There are different levels of stabilization. Real quick, there's glue flavored turquoise, and then there's turquoise flavored glue. Yours is glue scented turquoise. Whoever's doing your stabilization is doing a really good job. I have some friends who mine Campitos, and the stuff is covered in glue. Yours to the untrained eye, you won't even be able to tell. And it's to harden. It's just to give it a little bit of extra. It wasn't. There's ain't no dyes in there. He's not throwing a bunch of pyrite into the mix. And it's a good, rare natural American product. You know, we're in a world where you can buy $2,000 a pound turquoise stabilized.
Oh man, I wish.
I mean, that's out there. I mean, there's stuff out there. There's some Golden Hills that needs to be stabilized, going for $1,500 a pound, and you don't even get it stabilized. It just has to be stabilized.
Yeah.
And so, check out the Cloud Chaser. It's super awesome, y'all. Most of them seem to be like dimes to quarters, which to me, that is where the money is right now. People aren't. How many bolos can you buy? But jewelers, I feel like, are making $500 and under pieces right now, and I hate to say, oh, an economy, blah 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 blah, but people want, you know, practical pieces. You know what I mean? Yes. When you buy a squash blossom, you ain't getting, you know, $50 across, and no one really wants that. They want those quarters on the blossoms and stuff, you know. So I think the Cloud Chaser is a perfect size. And correct me if I'm wrong. Is it $450 a pound?
I do it by the size.
Perfect.
So I've got 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. I'm doing $400 a pound. For 3/8 to 1/2 inch, I'm doing $450 a pound, and then for 1/2 inch up, it's $600 a pound. And I've got a big batch getting ready to be finished here by my stabilizing guy that's going to be heading to quartzite with me this year. So I'll have a whole bunch of rough with it this year, and cabs also.
$600 a pound is fantastic. I mean,
and it's electric. It's beautiful, beautiful color.
I mean, all day long, $3 a carat. If you can't make money between $600 and $300 a carat, maybe you shouldn't be cutting. No, at that price point, it's actually good for beginners too. It's a good American product. The color is good. It's super consistent. I highly recommend it. The Colina Verde is off the bloody chain. I imagine the pricing on that might even be more difficult because of the swing in variation and quality.
Yeah.
Like the vein, like I think when I got the vein from you, I think there was only one piece available, but maybe somebody came in and bought it all. It's not easy to price rough phosphates, I bet.
No, yeah. I mean, I typically don't get a lot of big wholesale deals. It's more people looking for, 10 grams, do 100 grams at a time. And, typically, just depending on the quality, it'll vary anywhere from like 25 cents a gram up to $4 a gram if it's like really, really top grade. So I stay fair, and if there's a lot of matrix, obviously I'm not going to charge full price for that. And so it just depends on a piece by piece sort of thing, really.
You're a good guy because a lot of people will. Some people see it as my gas, my labor, my time away from my kids. You're paying for that dirt, son. Like it or not, you're an awesome guy for caring about the folks who are buying your awesome material.
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to price gouge anyone. I just want it to get out into the world and be enjoyed and shared. And if you can make some money off of it too, then that's that's awesome also.
Your online sales, I see some. I don't know. You do live sales, right? Or is it all they're dumps? They're photo dumps and video dumps.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. I'll make like 60 drafts on my posting thing, and then just post, and it's first come, first serve. So I mean, some sales, are a little slow, but a lot of the time, items are claimed within seconds of posting it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna only get more and more like that because it's
tough to get in.
It's a good product and it's a fair price. It's cabochons and rough.
Yeah, I try and do rough first in the beginning of the sale, and then end it off with all cabochons.
The cabs are spectacular. I'm sharing photos of all this stuff while we talk. There's two Instagram pages. One of them's dedicated to the sales, right?
Yeah, the Conscious Creators shop is the sales page, and then just Conscious Creators is kind of like my adventure page.
You're freaking out when you find beauties.
Yeah. That's when you know to check in the shop page and see what's coming up.
Sorry about me rubbing my face. I accidentally put like 175 watt light into my cabbing machine, and it's blinding me. So
Oh,
I'm
shit.
like, whoa. And also,
You're just crying over there.
yeah, sorry about talking over you. I have powerful ADHD powered by coffee, and so I'm trying not to talk over you. But
It's all good, bro.
dude, unique product, can't be mass produced. You ain't gonna have 50 people out there overmining it, destroying its value. It's your stuff, your heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears, and laughter. It's awesome, dude, and you're awesome. And
Oh, you're awesome, Dave. I appreciate you, dude.
no, dude, thank you. What's your favorite thing to work besides phosphates? I mean, to mine.
Originally, the first claim I ever stuck like 8 years ago was an amethyst claim out in California.
Oh, cool.
So what really got me started in collecting minerals was quartz crystals, and I'll always have a soft spot for that. You know, it's just so fun to pull something so perfectly geometric and clean and shiny out of the ground. It will never get old to me.
Is the amethyst that you were selling in quartzite your stuff?
Yeah. Most of the stuff were small, like perky boxes.
Yeah,
that
they
I
were
used
small.
to mine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The GDP, the Granddaddy Purple Amethyst, which is a lot of,
GDP, yo.
which is
Awesome.
a lot of scepters we got there that were really cool. And I got to get my butt back up there because it's been like 3 or 4 years since we worked it. But it's fun stuff, and they're world class for California, in my opinion. There's not a lot of places out there you can get stuff like that.
Heck yeah. I'm looking back and forth reading my notes. I think that's everything. Real quick, do you have like a schedule that you try to keep for your sales posts?
They're kind of random. It's just depending on when I can, sit down to cab, and when I found enough out in the field to, put something together. I try and do them on Saturdays, though, at least once or twice a month. So if you put on like post notifications, you'll get notified. I don't really post anything on my shop page except like the notifications and then the actual sale.
Yeah, you have you'll put a post, hey, the sale's gonna, you let people know when it's gonna happen. And it's
a couple days before usually.
First serve, folks. So there's people who are in love with this man who are kind of just buying a bunch. It's not one person buys this, now they're like, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. And look, on the rough, you get a little disappointed. You didn't get it. Maybe can they ask you, hey, can you find me something similar to that?
I try to do private sales when I can.
It's hard to do.
It's just tough because, everyone wants a certain look and a certain piece and color and style. And I don't always have it, I try and put out what I can in the sales. But it's tough doing, specific looks because there's just only so much of it.
Awesome. Ryan, thank you so much for talking to me. We tried. This actually took, I think, 2 or 3 months.
Hey, it's all good, but I've been out digging, so honestly, this is perfect timing. I'm finally taking a break this week to cut some cabs and just hang out, and I've been camped out and digging for like almost 3 weeks straight now, so I'm fucking beat.
Terrible to me. I'm such a city slicker, dude. I don't even like going camping at music festivals.
Dude, I didn't shower for like 2 weeks. I was like, I gotta get home. I can't even stand my own stench right now.
No, it's worth it. That steak is in your beauties. Everyone can tell. That's where the love is at. Dude, thanks, Ryan. And so, quartzite at the powwow, not at the Desert Gardens.
Yep.
What is it, 4 days, 3 days?
It's usually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I think 5 days usually.
So go bug them on Tuesday. That's the secret.
Yeah. Get there early as you can.
Heck yeah. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Take it easy, brother.
All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed our interview with Ryan from Conscious Creators, who mines this amazing Colina Verde. In this next section of the video, I do a silent unboxing and processing of this material that was sent to me by an anonymous investor. This material will be for sale. I'm going to show off every piece individually with a price on the bottom of the screen for those of you that would like to take a screenshot and contact me to pre-order your favorite pieces without having to be at said sale, which probably will be after the premiere of this video. We'll just jump right into it.
I'll be offering these in some other material. But yeah, these are really, really awesome. I show off how it's pretty unique with the processing compared to like other phosphates because of the beautiful clay that it comes in. And yeah, real beautiful spread. Anyway, contact information should be on the screen, or if you need to get a hold of me and it's not on the screen for whatever reason, it's down in the description section for those of you that want to take screenshots and pre-order pieces. Big thanks to our friend who sent us the rough. He also set up the interviews with me and Ryan. He pretty much made this video happen. Yeah, and the money goes to helping me and Lynn get our second 2 weeks in Tucson, which is right around the corner. And Airbnbs can be pretty expensive. Got to keep her out the ghetto, you know. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video.